Well, this year has been interesting to say the least. We've had good, bad, and plenty of meh. Which ones are the best, worst, and, most boring? Well, let's find out. And I'm not doing this alone either. Corson's here too.
Yep, you heard that right.
I liked this video. Not enough for it to be on the main list, since in my opinion it shouldn't be highly praised for being a rather standard video in the grand scheme of things, but given the locations used and the jokes, it's still pretty decent.
This was one of the best holiday videos in a long time. This video had a lot of funny moments with Lavelle, South Pole Santa, and it didn't seem to get boring ever. I like the different filming locations, and since the puppets weren't included, this was really enjoyable and easier on the eyes.
Goodman's son. This video introduced Richard, Goodman's son, obviously. This video would have been just decent enough, since Richard for a good chunk of the video just throws money at all of his problems, and in general just acts like a younger version of Goodman.
Richard seemed to become a better character by the end of the video, realizing that his mean actions influenced by his father weren't the right decisions. I liked the ending as it was the start to some character development for Richard. Oh. Wait.
The reason this honorable mention is so long, by the way, is because we already scripted this before changing the script, and we didn't want to have this segment go to waste. Jeffy's Imaginary Friend was one of the first good videos this year. Honestly, I thought that this video would just be a recycled version of Junior's Imaginary Friend, but luckily I was wrong. Instead, this video featured a new character that was seemingly innocent at first glance, but took the video in a dark direction.
I really enjoyed Anthony's performance throughout the video, and it's a shame that he's not with the cast anymore. The video had a somewhat horror plot with Jeffy's imaginary friend asking him to, make people commit not to breathe. The new characters were both enjoyable in my opinion, but I knew they weren't here to stay, as Logan isn't exactly the best when it comes to new characters.
The only reason this gets at number 5 though on the best list is because it was just decent when compared to other videos this year. Well, this video was awful. This was literally just Cody torture. Luckily, there are surely no other videos this year which might or might not be on this list that fall into this category.
Junior was just hard to watch in this video. He seemed to go back to his 2015 roots and was just annoying. Him destroying Cody's project and acting selfish throughout the video was just terrible from a viewer's perspective, and many other channels, including myself, didn't seem to enjoy it.
The whole problem with this video was how much of a jerk Junior was, and how he managed to be intolerable to a point where it gives flashbacks to his earlier years on the channel. Junior had improved and was more often than not a decent character nowadays who isn't annoying, but this was the exception. Junior was honestly just a bully in this video. So, Corson and I kinda already reviewed this, but for those who are too lazy to go watch that, basically Cody gets introduced to his new family members, and they're both terrible black stereotypes, cause we definitely needed more of those.
Like I said in our last review, I didn't mind this video personally. The new characters' voices didn't bother me at all, and I feel like that was a big thing which affected Dub's final rating. I'd just recommend going and watching our review on this to know our thoughts on the video.
Never thought I'd put a video with the human puppets on this list. But luckily it was roughly a minute of the video runtime, there was only one, and it's the most tolerable one, so it gets a pass, I guess.
My first time watching this video, I wasn't actually a big fan of it and thought they could have done more. but I think I was just expecting a lot more due to all the build-up beforehand to this video. I think it's a good video, but it could have gone more in depth. For starters, only 2 of Brooklyn Guy's 3,887 jobs were shown, but his personal life was enough to make you feel bad for him as a character.
Honestly, you guys should be happy it's even on this list. The video quickly became repetitive, and it was actually quite underwhelming. Maybe I'd have a more positive opinion on this video if it weren't for the fact that it had been hyped up for literal years, and the result we got was honestly kinda underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad video, and upon rewatching it, I think it deserves its place on the list. This still doesn't negate the fact that, in my opinion, it's rather underwhelming given what I was expecting, not to mention the fact that only a couple of Brooklyn Guys jobs were actually shown, and yeah, this was good, just underwhelming. This video was cancer. While the premise was unique to a certain degree, and some of the jokes were funny, this video is proof that the puppets can in fact ruin an entire video. If you listen to just the audio for the video, it's okay enough. But with the video, yeah, it's awful.
This video felt a lot like the school project, with Junior seemingly bullying Cody throughout the whole video. Cody somewhat asked for it, but it just felt awful watching him get beat up throughout the whole video when they were trying to cover up something indirectly caused by Junior. I wouldn't call this straight up torture, but it's close enough. The plot itself wasn't a bad idea, but the abuse in this video is what ruined it for most people, including myself.
Hey you! Yeah, you. Do you want the same joke repeated for a few minutes? What about an overall bland video with nothing to talk about? Well then, you want Jeffy Goes to the Arcade. A boring video where not much happens, but hey, we do get a lifeless Jeffy.
The lifeless Jeffy puppet was somewhat enjoyable, as we got to imagine for one brief fleeting moment that Jeffy is dead.
This one was a fairly unique video. The premise is that Kool-aid is outlawed, so Black Yoshi has to get his Barney dust from alternate sources. I liked this because it had a few different locations, and some of the jokes were really funny, especially with Brooklyn Guy.
I really enjoyed this video for the different filming locations we got. Any scenes outside are especially uncommon in recent SML. Logan has said it's a noise issue, but when we get to see it, they're usually good. I thought this was a really funny video, and Brooklyn Guy was really enjoyable. Also, if any of you know a dealer who can hook me up with some of that Barney dust, you know, let me know.
I call it the Jailbait 3000. Anybody I shoot with this thing is gonna turn into a 12-year-old. Alright, Mom, prepare to get blasted.
FBI, open up!
Now, this video wasn't particularly bad in terms of it having a bad plot. It was a bit filler heavy at times, but ultimately this would just be a meh video. Save for a couple jokes which swing this video from just an ordinary meh video into something really bad, in my opinion.
Child pre. These are all words to describe Cody's mother. This video was really uncomfortable to watch for obvious reasons. Cody's mom was just, ugh. The jokes in this were really creepy and were spewing energy into the air. This video brought back flashbacks of David Winkle, and I thought Logan would have learned from then, and that these are not fun to watch.
Luckily, Logan learned later on in the year that the creepy jokes weren't good. Too bad it seems he didn't learn anything else this year. We'll get to that later. It's funny because... Cat. Seriously, these two videos, and yes, I'm grouping them together since they both have the same problem. They both revolve around Precious to some extent, who's a cat. Both videos are kinda meh to begin with. But trying to revolve the videos around a cat to begin with is just a terrible idea.
If this were the early days of YouTube, these probably would have been great, just because cats were included. These videos were more of an inside joke to begin with, and it's kind of hard to work a video around an actual animal. The plots were more or less similar, and seemed to just not go anywhere. There were a few funny jokes to be fair, but that's not enough to make it good. These videos were just kind of... there.
So this was going to be number 1, but Corson and I had a bit of a disagreement, and apparently a lot of you guys sided with Corson on this one.
You're damn right they did.
Anyways, here we have Bowser Jr.'s 11th birthday. To be fair, if there's one point I don't enjoy about this video, it's the fact that this video had the common trope of, what if this character was never born? However, I really enjoyed this video for how unique it was, how there were several locations. The ending was rather touching, and it was rather interesting to see how the world would have been without Junior. There were a couple positive effects of Junior not existing, but actually quite a few negatives. Again, this would be the best video of the year, but obviously there were some disagreements.
I really enjoyed seeing how the other characters would have been off if Junior was never born. I wasn't a big fan of the overall plot for it being a bit generic, but it was still a good video, without a doubt. I enjoyed the big cast of characters, plus the new character, God, was really funny as well. I enjoyed Chris's performance in this video, and I liked how Junior was actually getting some character development. Until the school project, but we don't talk about that.
Well, this is just plain terrible. Have you missed the videos with the same jokes over and over again? You haven't? Well, too bad, because that's what this video is. That's literally it. It's just Jeffy making a bunch of dumb, unfunny jokes and Rosalina encouraging him, and both of them being super annoying. For 10 minutes. Fantastic.
This was horrible. And the only thing that saved this video from being even worse was Brooklyn Guy. Without him, this could have been the worst video of the year, if not one of the worst ever. The entire video was filmed on the couch. There was no plot to this whatsoever, and it should have just been a short. It just consists of Jeffy and Rosalina bothering Mario for the entire video, till he snaps and downs his NyQuil to escape the torture. There seems to be a pattern where if a bad video has Chris in it, Chris happens to be the only good thing about it. This just went back to Jeffy's 2017 to 2018 ways, where he only existed to annoy Mario.
Wow, another video where the same joke is repeated over and over again. How wonderful. The latter part of the video seemed to almost try to make up for the rest of the video, but it didn't do a very good job, did it? I'm not sure what else I can say about this video besides it being the same joke over and over. As for why it's not on the bad list, well, it's not bad per se. Sure, it's dumb, and the jokes are repeated way too much, but it's more boring than it is annoying like, say, Dr. Jeffy is.
There isn't much to talk about, which is why it's in the meh category to begin with. I enjoyed the one scene with the Mexican restaurant, and well, this was hands down the best video of the year. I loved all the different filming locations, character variety, and the comedy. I enjoyed the plot with Mario and the Lone Dolphin trying to get the chicken sandwich from Tyrone, and it came with some of the funniest moments of the year. The filming was great in this video. It looked like they put a lot of effort into this, much more than most of their recent stuff. We got to see Shrek and Black Yoshi in one video, which hasn't happened for a long time. Every character in this was enjoyable. Even Jeffy had a funny moment in this. Thankfully, he wasn't in it too long, cause he probably could have retracted all of that. This video is just an example of what Logan can do when he actually tries.
While I agree this video is really good, I still think Bowser Jr.'s 11th birthday was more impactful in the long run. Oh, and also it introduced God. This video was a close call, to be fair, so I don't blame people for thinking this should be number 1. This video was very funny though. We had several funny interactions and jokes, several good characters, and so on. My favorite joke has to be my chocolate friend. However, and here's another reason why this isn't my favorite of the year, the actual part with Mario and Lone Dolphin, and the conflict of Black Yoshi being in a coma in general, didn't really come into effect until halfway into the video. Before that true conflict came into effect, the video was just Black Yoshi wanting a chicken sandwich. I guess you could say that was the whole plot anyways, especially since Black Yoshi might have been faking it the whole time, but had this video just been Black Yoshi wanting a chicken sandwich, in my opinion this video wouldn't have been nearly as good. However, with that all being said, I will concede to the fact that this is indeed a very good video. I mean, do I really need to explain this to you guys? This video was kinda weak to begin with the plot feeling very shoehorned for the excuse of showing off the new puppets. The awful, awful puppets. I still don't know who thought this was a good idea. I really don't think I need to say anymore. Not only was this a bad video, but it's a bad video that introduced some terrible puppets. It could be called the Mario the Babysitter of the modern era. Mario the Babysitter introduced a tumor, Jeffy, to the channel, and the Human Potion introduced... Both were lazy videos which had dumb plots. Both were used to introduce new, awful changes. And I can't think of anyone who actually liked the videos. I still don't know if the puppets are here to stay, but if they are, this is, in my opinion, the beginning of the end for Logan's channel. It's just one bad decision too many at this point.
This video was on here simply because it introduced quite possibly the worst decision that Logan has ever made. Seriously, the puppets are awful and this video wasn't good to begin with. I'm not happy with our new cast of Rowley from Caillou, a Chain Chomp, Chinese knockoff nerd Trevor from GTA, and Bob, who goes to work every single day. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, so guess what this has in common with most of the meh videos? It's the same recycled joke. Over and over. The joke in Gravity is that Junior keeps breaking things and then blaming it on gravity. That's literally it. They do try to shove something in resembling a plot in the last 30 seconds of the video, but by then it's too late. So the only real joke we got was Junior breaking stuff. That's it.
This video is literally just the same joke repeated throughout the entire thing. It wasn't funny the first time, and surprise, it never became funny. Well, to be fair, after the 345th time I kind of chuckled, but that's besides the point. The editing wasn't good, the plot wasn't good, This is just meh. It's just such a boring and dumb concept, so it fits perfectly as the most meh video of the year.
Honestly, it was kinda hard this year to find good videos. Now, that's not to say that most of the videos were bad. If anything, most of them were meh. Not good, not bad. They just kinda existed. And that's honestly what I've thought about this year. It's just existed. Save for the end of the year with those puppets, that really made the year decline. But as for the rest of the year for SML, it was just kinda there.
If this were a top 10 best, we probably would have never gotten that far. But if it were a top 50 meh, oh boy, we'd have content for days.
Okay guys, so before we end, we need to be honest with you here. We were wrong about the best video of the year. Because we should actually tell you guys about the best video of the year. Which was Jeffy Puppet Pre-Order Update! I mean, where do I begin? This video was amazing. I mean, it had a new location, the White Void. It featured everyone's favorite characters. Black Yoshi, Shrek, Woody, Tony the Tiger, Mr. Pig. Even Mama Luigi came back.
The cinematography in this video had me crying, like holy. When Mama Luigi came back to help Tony the Tiger and Mr. Pig defeat Jeffy in his final appearance.
This was the secret ending where Jeffy got axed. And what's more, Shrek helped Lavelle deal with his drug issue, turning him to the ways of cheesecake.
Logan even made an announcement at the end that the movie will be released the very next day, and that he would like to apologize to all the critics he mocked along the way. Zeke stated that he was now a permanent cast member, and will be helping with every single SML idea from now on to review them. The rest of the crew admitted that they were being a bunch of yes men and are now changing for the better of the channel.
Logan will also now be producing all of his videos in Ultra HD 4K quality. Each video will now include at least one cameo from Mama Luigi. He deleted all the human puppet videos, and he filmed himself burning the human puppets, as well as every single Jeffy puppet in existence. By far, the best video of 2019, possibly ever, and definitely a 10 out of 10 video, hands down. Thank you all for watching, and take care.